your side. You're watching WREG News Channel 3. Live from Peabody Place in downtown Memphis. This is News Channel 3 Live at 9 with Alex Coleman and Mary Beth Conley.
Dealing with the economic stimulus package, we all realize that, in many areas you want to bring home as much as you can. But I guess, Mr. Guy, everybody is concerned these days also about accountability. Those taxpayer dollars, how they're being spent, possibly how they're being maybe misspent. How concerned are you? Have been talking about.
Let me talk about accountability real quick. We're audited by an independent auditor each year, have had a clean bill of health. The state auditor watches over MDA funds. We're audited by the MDA, and federal funds were audited by the federal government. And we're clean for all the money that we've received. Taxes are a necessary evil, unfortunately, in government. And obviously, Mr. Hart talked about taxes going up for police and fire, and actually one of our tax increases were exactly for police and fire. And I think what this administration has done is said, if your taxes are going to go up, here's where the money's going to be spent, and we fulfilled that promise. We haven't taken those taxes and gone elsewhere with it. So that's the type of accountability for an elected official to actually say something and then do it. So we've had that accountability. I want to tell you right now that the Department of Finance and Administration in my office already has next year's budget balanced without a tax increase with the increased officers that we need.
Now I'm surprised we don't hear some applause.
And that's the kind of administration we have. We stay ahead of the curve. I know the economy's bad, but what you don't hear about, I guess, is that South Haven sales tax numbers are ahead of where they were a year ago. Our property tax levels have remained ahead of what we projected. And the main reason I think is because it's like my household income. I take my estimated revenue and I only take 90% of it and put it into my budget. And then that way, if I have a shortfall throughout the year, I don't have to go find ways to cut in my personal budget. We've done that exact same philosophy in city government. So we about 90% of, actually, we had a lower estimate of sales tax revenues in this year's budget than what we collected last year by $600,000.
So what do you do with that $600,000?
I'm glad you asked. That's another good thing that this board has set up and done. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. And we kind of based it on what the state had done. We created a rainy day fund, which the city had never had, which has over $2 million in it now. And that's almost 10% of our general fund budget that we've got set aside. What we do at the end of the year when the audit comes back is we take however much money it is in that next budget year. We put 25% in the rainy day fund. We retire debt early with 25%, just as I would on my mortgage. If I've got extra money each month, I'm paying down on the principal. I want that 17-year note versus that 30-year note. So we pay down our debt early, and then we take 50% of those funds and go do capital and projects that are one-time expenses because we don't want to get caught spending it on personnel, and then next year we got to fill the gap. And each year we've been very fortunate. We spent somewhere between $1.5 to $2 million on capital projects that we didn't have to issue bonds for, and spend it on bricks and mortar or drainage systems and problems that are going on. And that's what we do with the money. But we don't spend it before we have it. And that's what we've done for the last 12 years, and that's why we're AA- in our bond rating, one of the strongest in the state of Mississippi.
You just got an increase in
We
that,
just got an increase in that bond rating. I mean, that's why, because of the type fiscal responsibility this city's had and the accountability that we've had, that we've been able to be successful and be ready for these hard times. And I want to point out, and then I'll stop, these vacancies that have occurred because national chains have closed. That's a big concern to everybody. But I want to tell you that 2 of the big stores, the economics of the companies coming in have been approved by CBL. Their leases, one of them will be signed April 22nd. The other one will be signed in April also, or May at the latest. And those 2 big boxes will be filled, and it's because in my opinion, of things that our sales tax revenues have steadily stayed the same or even increased during time of recession. We're still a strong market in South Haven, and I do not buy into the fact that we live in a war zone or that things are bad in South Haven, because things are good here, and they're good because of the people and the businesses and everything that's going on.
All right. One other issue.